But y'all are okay with that, right? Yeah, okay. So the 2 or 3 things you need to know about this poem is just that I live on reclaimed farmland and it's a new development, so they're still building houses. So next to me, they were excavating and jackhammering limestone. So I have 72 poems called Jackhammering Limestone, and this is the only one that survived. The other thing is that I used to work in the World Financial Center right before 9/11. And the other thing is, when I was writing this book, part of this book became about my oldest son is white and my youngest son is black, and what it means to raise 2 sons of 2 different races in 21st century America in the Appalachian South became a big part of this book. Jackhammering Limestone. You ask about the leaves and I tell you it's been so dry here. The leaves are just giving up, turning brown, falling off the trees, which all look dead. This might be a metaphor for the election or might be a metaphor for nothing. It's hard to say. Each morning, I wake up to machines across the street jackhammering limestone, shearing away more rock face and turning it to rubble, strewn across red clay soil so dry it heaves and cracks. It's been 7 weeks of drilling and blasting, and that's not a metaphor for anything either, except maybe my midlife crisis, which I'm having surely as there's whiskey next to me, and I'm up all night wondering if I can be hairless again in some risque places. Most days I refuse to believe we're doomed, despite growing evidence to the contrary. I mean, it's like the 1970s down there, trust me. Most days I listen to NPR on my car radio and talk to one son or the other in the back seat and ask them questions they sometimes answer as we drive home past the pile of rubble and the leafless trees, which vaguely resemble the girl I saw on campus wearing an entire shaggy outfit made from flesh-colored plastic grocery bags, campaigning on an environmental platform for student council president. Her amazing bag suit was rustling in the breeze, and it looked like she might take flight, just soar over campus with the drones delivering burritos this week as a test stunt, because our motto here is invent the future, which I think about a lot, not as your future, in the sense of what I wanted to be when I grew up, which I figured out by process of elimination was not a banker or a computer programmer, and I never saw myself as a mother either, but here I am. More like I would invent a future where my black son will not get shot by police for playing in a park, or driving, or walking from his broken down car. I would invent a future where there is always enough chalk to leave notes for the next class. We are starting a revolution somehow, instructions to follow. What no one told me about programming computers for Merrill Lynch to keep their front-end trading systems running past Y2K was that I was simply a dominatrix of code. The disaster that would take our building down came later and had nothing to do with language. My cashier at Kroger has an epigraph on her name badge under Paula that says, "I will make things right." I hope that girl wins her election. I hope that someday someone else will enter my hairless palace and find it marvelous. The photos of broken glass, the piles of rubble, the future is throttling towards us and it's loud and reckless.